Today I want to talk about Justin Fields and give you a chance to win a Justin Fields Chicago Bears jersey. And all that's coming up after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You gotta help me with that corner shit.
What's up, kid folks? It's RJ Young. I'm not on Step Mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always college football related. We have a good time. Now, I want to talk about Justin Fields because many of y'all know that I am a Justin Fields stan. I believe in that dude. I think that he is going to be one of the great quarterbacks in the NFL, as he was one of the great quarterbacks at Ohio State. He is only the third quarterback ever selected, and I say ever, the third quarterback selected since Art Schlichter in the first round, right? The other being Dwayne Haskins, and we all know how that went. But Fields is a different kind of cat. 6'3", 227 pounds with 4.4 speed. People want to tell me that 40-yard dash times don't make an NFL player. I said being fast does not hurt you one bit, especially if you're the guy handling the football most of the time. And I believe that I want my best athlete at quarterback. Maybe that's a playground way of thinking, but that's what I think, right? Then you take into account what Justin Fields is made of. This is a dude that fought for the Big Ten to reinstate its season and won. Helped lead the We Want to Play Act. Had 300,000 people sign a petition saying, hey, I want to play football this season, even as he knew he was going to be a first-round draft pick. Starts the season in November, leads Ohio State to a national championship game in January, and in the course takes a kill shot to the ribs from James Skalski, misses one play, still finishes the game 22 of 28 for 385 passing yards, 6 touchdowns, just 1 interception. An all-time career for an Ohio State quarterback, which is not a thing that you really get to say a lot, right? Also taking into account just what Ryan Day has been able to do with Justin Fields in basically 1.5 seasons, right? Because you play the full season of 2019 to make the playoff, and you get to the national championship game in 8 games. Also being drafted by the Chicago Bears means that I believe Justin Fields is going to be the first 4,000-yard passer in Chicago Bears history. They have never had a 4,000-yard passer, period. And he is their best quarterback draftee, we think, since Sid Luckman in the 1940s. That's a lot of time, but when you take into account just what the quarterbacks have meant to Chicago, they've been riding defense when they've been great. I mean, taking into account Jim McMahon and the 85 Bears, you understand, right? It was defense and Walter Payton. And then, yeah, they had Jim Harbaugh, but we'll let that slide. And then you get to Rex Grossman as your quarterback when you were able to get to the Super Bowl. What if you had the most talented player on your offense at quarterback? That's what you got now. Get him a couple of weapons to go around, get an offensive line that can protect him, and I think you're going to look at this dude and see exactly what I see. Also, 4,000 yards is really not that difficult to do in a 16-game season, you would think, right? Because now that we're at 17, you get an extra game, but that's 250 yards passing a game. That should be doable for an NFL quarterback, you would think, most of the time, right? Especially when you take into account how many guys go for 300 4 or 5 times a year, and how many guys go for 400, maybe 1 or 2 times a year. You should be able to get there. But all of that goes into my thought process as to why I like Chicago. Now, I didn't pick Justin Fields to win Rookie of the Year because I don't know if he's going to get enough starts to beat out a guy like Trevor Lawrence, who's going to start from day one, right? Trey Lance might sit behind Jimmy Garoppolo, but there's this thought that if you are drafted in the first round, you got to play right away. I can see it going either way. Like, for Hugh Jackson, the move should have been for Baker Mayfield to go if Hugh Jackson thought he was going to be around to see Baker Mayfield, and he wasn't, right? But Tyrod Taylor got the start, and that's not necessarily a bad thing because Tyrod Taylor was a Pro Bowl quarterback, right? Kind of like on par with Andy Dalton, quite honestly. And I think about Fields, and I say, if he's starting by Thanksgiving, I'm fine. That's okay. And we're looking at 22 as the year. You get him another wide receiver to go along with Allen Robinson and Darnell Mooney, and you going to be in good shape, especially with David Montgomery in the backfield, Khalil Mack on the other side, and what I think is going to be a pretty great defense. And Matt Nagy knows that dude's a threat every time he touches the football. He is going to run a similar offense to the one they run in Kansas City with Pat Mahomes, which is spreading the ball around and want to move it downfield as quickly as you possibly can. We know that Fields has a cannon for an arm. Also need to add in here that Chicago's never had a quarterback pass for 30 touchdowns in a season. It's been historically bad for a very long time at quarterback, and I think that's about to change. And one of the ways in which I want to celebrate that change is by giving you the opportunity to win a Justin Fields Chicago Bears jersey. I don't even have one of those, right? And yet, my bosses were like, yo, RJ, you want to give away a jersey? I was like, can you get your hands on a Justin Fields jersey? He said, yeah, but I need it ruled.